What's up, Backgammon fans? Marc Olsen here. I'm sitting here with my Brazilian Gamao backgammon board, luxury board from Brazil, 50mm checkers, perfect dimensions. I love these dimensions where you can stack 11 checkers here. It's perfect for me. You don't have to reach too far. You have perfect overview. And it's the prize board I won when I won the Nordic Open 2014. So this is a very special board for me. And one of my favorite boards in my collection. In this video, we're going to talk about one of the most crucial concepts in backgammon strategy, efficiency. So what is efficiency? Well, efficiency means getting the maximum utility out of minimal amount of resources. That's basically the definition of efficiency. And what do we mean by that in backgammon? Well, we want to utilize our limited resources, in this case our checkers, we only have 15 checkers, to the maximum power that they can give us. So let's give you some examples here. For instance, if we look at my position here as white, if I were to build a prime here, let's say I have a prime like this, this would be the perfect way of utilizing 10 checkers. Look how all of them work to form a beautiful 5 prime. Very, very beautiful structure here. Let's look at an inefficient way of using 10 checkers. This would be a very inefficient use of 10 checkers because all I get is 2 points and I have tons of spare checkers, but I have to roll perfectly in order to extend my prime because I put all my checkers on 2 points. It's very inflexible. It's unlikely that I will improve. I might get lucky and get a double. Let's say I get a double 1. That would be beautiful, right? Because then I can do something like this. But if I get anything else like 6-5, 5-2, I have to leave shots here. I can't play well. So stacks and gaps are inefficient, and purity and structure like this is efficient. Another important part of efficiency is that you want to use your checkers where they are most useful. So let's say, for instance, you've got an anchor here on my 3-point. Take these 2 checkers for instance. An efficient use of these 2 checkers would be to make this point or to make this point. An inefficient use of these 2 checkers would be to have them behind your anchor because now they're not blocking anything anymore. If you take this 3rd checker, the worst thing that could happen to this spare checker here on my 6-point would be to bury it down on the ace point. Now I have effectively killed this checker. It makes absolutely no use. These 2 checkers, at least they occupy an inner point. I mean, if I were to hit you, you might roll double 1 or 1-6 and you can't enter, so it has a little bit of utility at least. But the 3rd checker, we call this a buried checker. That must be avoided at all costs. It's so bad, especially in the opening game and the middle game, to bury checkers. Keep them in front of keep your spare checkers in front of the points you want to make. So for instance, even if you have like a pretty good structure here, now we're only looking at my front position here. You have the anchor on my 3-point. I have my 8, 6, and 4 points made. This is pretty good. I might be able to extend my prime if I roll a 6-1, or if I'm lucky to roll a 3-1 here. That would be really nice, a nice blocking structure. But what if let's say that I have to move a 4. I already moved the other die, so let's say I have a 4 to play. A bad way of playing this 4 would be to take this spare checker and put it over here. Why? Because I'm putting a checker past the 2 points I want to make. I cannot move backwards in backgammon. So this spare checker is way better placed here at the 8-point, where it's actively working as a builder towards the 7-point or the 5-point. So that is efficient, right? And this would be a semi-buried checker because it's not completely dead. You can still go down to the deuce or the ace point, or if you run, I can still hit with an ace. So it's not totally dead, but we call it either a dilly builder or we call it a semi-dead checker. Whereas here on the 8-point, this would be a live checker. Really, really good active checker here on the 8-point. So a better way to play the 4 would probably be something like playing a 4 over here with my back checkers. It's perfectly fine. This would be nice and flexible to unstack my midpoint. The problem here is that I'm going to leave a 6 shot. So that depends whether I want to take that risk or not. So to recap, efficiency is getting the maximum use out of your checkers. Put your checkers where you want them. This is a famous quote, put your checkers where they belong. I believe it was Paul McGrill who said this. It means that you don't want to bury checkers. You don't want to make stacks. You don't want to have gaps in your structure. You want to play pure, make a solid prime structure, and don't bury checkers.
Backgammongalaxy.com